First contact. The summer sky over New York City shimmered with an otherworldly light as the alien ship descended. Its sleek, silver form reflected the sun's rays, casting prismatic patterns across the glass and steel canyons of Manhattan. On the ground, millions of faces turned upward, a mix of awe and trepidation etched on their features. Inside the ship, xenoanthropologist Zara Axelith adjusted her sensory receptors, eagerly anticipating her first glimpse of the planet called Earth. As the lead researcher on this unprecedented mission, she had spent years studying human transmissions, learning their languages, and observing their customs from afar. But nothing could have prepared her for the sensory assault that awaited her. As the ship's hatch opened with a soft hiss, Zara stepped out onto the landing platform. The first thing that struck her was the cacophony of sounds, the honking of vehicles, the chatter of the crowd, the whir of helicopters overhead. Her auditory tendrils quivered, struggling to process the barrage of noise. Next came the smells. Earth's atmosphere was rich with a dizzying array of scents, exhaust fumes, food cooking in street vendors' carts, the subtle perfume of flowers in a nearby park. Zara's olfactory glands worked overtime, cataloging each new aroma. But it was the sight of the humans themselves that truly captivated her. Their faces were so expressive, their bodies so varied in shape and size. They moved with a fluidity that Zara found mesmerizing, their limbs bending and flexing in ways her own rigid exoskeleton would not allow. As she descended the ramp, flanked by her security detail, Zara noticed a group of humans approaching. They wore crisp suits and carried themselves with an air of authority. At their head was a tall man with silver hair and a warm smile. "Welcome to Earth," he said, his voice carrying clearly over the crowd's murmur. "I'm David Chen, Secretary General of the United Nations. On behalf of humanity, we're honored to receive you." Zara activated her translation matrix and responded in perfect English, her voice a melodious trill. "Greetings, Secretary General Chen. I am xenoanthropologist Zara Axelith of the Galactic Confederation. We come in peace and with great curiosity about your world." As they exchanged formal pleasantries, Zara couldn't help but notice the way the humans' faces moved as they spoke. Their lips curled into smiles, their eyebrows raised in interest, their eyes crinkled with emotion. It was far more complex than any of the transmissions she had studied could have conveyed. The formal greetings concluded, and Secretary General Chen began to lead Zara and her team towards a waiting motorcade. As they walked, Zara's attention was drawn to a couple standing near the barricades. They were young, their arms wrapped around each other, and as she watched, they pressed their mouths together in what Zara recognized as a kiss. She stopped abruptly, her sensory tendrils quivering with excitement. "Fascinating," she murmured, her translator off. "Such an unusual method of greeting." One of her aides, Crix, leaned in close. "Is everything all right, lead researcher?" Zara nodded, her compound eyes still fixed on the couple. "Yes, just observing. This mission may prove even more enlightening than we anticipated." As they continued towards the vehicles, Zara's mind raced with questions. Why do humans press their mouthparts together? Was it a transfer of information, a bonding ritual, a method of sensory sharing? She made a mental note to prioritize this behavior in her studies. The motorcade wound its way through the crowded streets of New York, giving Zara her first ground-level view of a human city. The sheer variety of architecture fascinated her. Sleek modern skyscrapers stood alongside ornate older buildings, creating a visual tapestry that spoke of a long and complex history. But it was the humans themselves that truly captured her attention. Through the tinted windows of her vehicle, Zara observed countless interactions, friends greeting each other with enthusiastic gestures, parents comforting crying children, strangers helping one another navigate the busy sidewalks. The depth and range of emotion on display was staggering. As they approached the United Nations headquarters, Zara felt a flutter of excitement in her thorax. This was why she had volunteered for this mission, to study, to learn, to understand. The humans, with their expressive faces and complex social behaviors, promised to be the most fascinating subjects she had ever encountered. The motorcade came to a stop, and as Zara prepared to exit the vehicle, she made a decision. This would not be a mere observational study. To truly understand humans, she would need to immerse herself in their culture, to experience their world as they did. It would be challenging, perhaps even dangerous, but the potential for discovery was too great to ignore. With a deep breath, or the closest approximation her alien physiology would allow, Zara stepped out of the car and into the bright sunlight of her new adventure. The crowd's cheers washed over her, a wave of sound and emotion that left her sensory tendrils tingling. As she followed Secretary General Chen into the UN building, Zara caught sight of her reflection in the polished glass doors. Her iridescent exoskeleton shimmered, her compound eyes taking in every detail of her surroundings. She looked every inch the detached scientific observer she had trained to be. But inside, Zara felt a spark of something new, a sense of excitement, of possibility, that went beyond mere academic curiosity. She was about to embark on the most important mission of her life, one that could reshape the relationship between her people and humanity forever. Little did she know, her journey was about to take an unexpected turn, one that would challenge everything she thought she knew about humans, about her own species, and about the nature of connection itself. As the doors closed behind her, Zara took her first steps into a world of discovery, unaware that the most shocking revelations were yet to come. The Tango, Zara's first week on Earth, had been a whirlwind of official meetings, press conferences, and carefully orchestrated cultural exchanges. But it was her unofficial encounters that truly captivated her. She'd found herself increasingly drawn to Jack Thompson, a brilliant linguist assigned to her team as a cultural liaison. One balmy evening, Jack invited Zara to experience a night on the town, a concept that both thrilled and terrified her. As they strolled through the neon-lit streets of New York, Zara's sensory tendrils quivered with excitement. "Jack," Zara chirped, her translator struggling to convey her enthusiasm, "I must know more about this kissing ritual I've observed. It seems unsanitary, yet humans derive great pleasure from it. Why?" Jack chuckled, running a hand through his tousled hair. "Well, Zara, kissing is complicated. It's not just about pleasure. It's about connection, intimacy, expressing feelings that words can't always capture." Zara's compound eyes widened. Fascinating. But how does the exchange of saliva convey such complex emotions? Before Jack could answer, they passed a street vendor selling ice cream. The sweet aroma caught Zara's attention, her olfactory glands working overtime. "What is that delightful scent?" she asked, antennae twitching. Jack grinned. "That, my alien friend, is the smell of Rocky Road ice cream. Want to try some?" Zara nodded eagerly, and Jack bought 2 cones. He demonstrated how to lick the ice cream, his tongue darting out to catch a drip before it could fall. Zara watched, mesmerized. "Your tongue, it's so flexible. Is this why humans enjoy kissing? Because of your tongue's dexterity?" Jack nearly choked on his ice cream, laughing. "I suppose that's part of it, but there's more to kissing than just tongue technique." Intrigued, Zara attempted to mimic Jack's actions, but her rigid, insectoid mouthparts were ill-suited for the task. The ice cream melted, dripping down her exoskeleton. "Oh dear," she chittered, distressed. "I seem to be malfunctioning." Jack couldn't help but laugh at the sight of the distinguished alien researcher covered in sticky ice cream. He grabbed some napkins and helped clean her up, his fingers gently wiping her iridescent carapace. The moment their skin made contact, Zara felt a jolt of electricity course through her. Her sensory receptors went into overdrive, registering the warmth of Jack's hand, the slight roughness of his skin, the careful precision of his movements. "Oh my," she gasped, her translator glitching from the sensory overload. Is this what touch feels like for humans?" Jack paused, suddenly aware of the intimacy of the moment. "Yeah, I guess it is. Touch is important for us. It's how we connect, how we show we care." Zara's mind raced. Could this be the key to understanding human relationships? Was physical touch the missing piece in her research? As they continued their walk, Zara peppered Jack with questions about human physical intimacy. Jack did his best to explain, but some concepts were difficult to put into words. "You know," he said finally, "maybe it would be easier to show you." Before Zara could process what was happening, Jack leaned in and planted a soft, quick kiss on what passed for her cheek. The effect was immediate and overwhelming. Zara's entire nervous system lit up like a supernova. Colors seemed brighter, sounds clearer, scents more vivid. For a moment, she felt as if she could sense the very rotation of the earth beneath her feet. When the sensation faded, Zara found herself staring at Jack in awe. "That was incredible," she whispered. "Is that what kissing feels like for humans?" Jack rubbed the back of his neck, looking slightly embarrassed. "Well, not exactly. That was just a peck on the cheek. A real kiss is more intense." Zara's compound eyes widened even further. "More intense? How is that possible?" "Jack, I must experience this real kiss for my research. It could be the key to understanding human pair bonding rituals." Jack held up his hands, laughing nervously. "Whoa, slow down there, Zara. Kissing isn't just something you do for research. It's personal, intimate. It means something." Zara tilted her head, confused. "But isn't all physical contact meaningful for humans? Why is kissing different?" As Jack struggled to explain the nuances of human romantic customs, they found themselves in front of a bustling nightclub. The pulsing beat of the music spilled out onto the street, and Zara could see humans inside, dancing close together, some kissing passionately. "Perhaps," she chirped excitedly, "we should engage in this clubbing activity. It seems an ideal environment for observing human mating rituals up close." Jack groaned, realizing he might be in over his head. "Zara, I'm not sure that's a good idea." But Zara was already heading for the entrance, her exoskeleton glittering under the neon lights. Jack hurried after her, wondering how he was going to explain alien nightclub shenanigans to his superiors. As they entered the club, the music hit Zara like a physical force. Her sensory tendrils vibrated with the beat, sending waves of pleasure through her body. She watched in fascination as humans moved together on the dance floor, their bodies swaying in perfect synchronization. "Jack," she shouted over the music, "is this also a form of physical bonding? This dancing?" Jack nodded, trying to keep an eye on Zara, while also scanning the crowd for any potential troublemakers. An alien in a nightclub was bound to attract attention. "Yeah, dancing can be a way of connecting with someone. It's about rhythm, feeling the music together, letting go of inhibitions." Zara's compound eyes sparkled with excitement. "Inhibitions? What are those? Can we let go of them now?" Before Jack could stop her, Zara had made her way onto the dance floor. Her alien physiology made traditional dancing impossible, but she began to move in her own unique way, her exoskeleton reflecting the pulsing lights in a dazzling display. The other dancers paused, staring in amazement at the alien in their midst. But then, caught up in the music and the spirit of the moment, they began to cheer Zara on. Soon, a circle had formed around her, with humans trying to mimic her otherworldly movements. Jack watched from the sidelines, a mix of anxiety and amusement on his face. He had to admit, Zara's enthusiasm was infectious. She seemed to be breaking down barriers between humans and aliens in a way that no official diplomatic meeting could. As the night wore on, Zara's dance moves became the talk of the club. Humans approached her, asking questions, complimenting her costume, even requesting selfies. Zara was in her element, soaking up every new experience, every interaction. It wasn't until the early hours of the morning that Jack finally managed to convince Zara to leave. As they stumbled out onto the quiet street, Zara was buzzing with excitement. "Jack," she trilled, her translator struggling to keep up with her rapid-fire thoughts, "I think I'm beginning to understand. Human physical intimacy, it's not just about reproduction or pair bonding. It's about joy, about sharing experiences, about breaking down barriers between individuals. It's beautiful. Jack smiled, touched by Zara's genuine appreciation for human culture. Yeah, I guess it is. We're not so bad, huh? Zara's sensory tendrils waved gently in the cool night air. No, not bad at all. In fact, I think I might be developing what you humans call feelings for your species. As they made their way back to Zara's diplomatic quarters, neither of them noticed the figures watching from the shadows. Not everyone was as accepting of the alien visitors as the clubgoers had been, and Zara's growing closeness to humanity was about to cause problems, both on Earth and back in her home galaxy. But for now, under the fading stars of a New York night, an alien and a human walked side by side, the barriers between their worlds just a little bit smaller than they had been before. The viral vortex. As the sun rose over New York City, Zara and Jack were blissfully unaware that their nightclub adventure had become an overnight sensation. A shaky smartphone video of Zara's alien dance moves had gone viral, racking up millions of views and sparking a global frenzy. #AlienRoove was trending worldwide, and social media was ablaze with memes, remixes, and conspiracy theories. Some hailed it as a breakthrough in interspecies relations, while others decried it as a sign of impending doom. Either way, Zara had become Earth's first extraterrestrial influencer. Jack's phone buzzed incessantly as he stumbled out of bed, his head pounding from the night before. He squinted at the screen, his eyes widening in horror as he scrolled through the notifications. Oh no, he groaned, fumbling to call Zara's diplomatic suite. But Zara was already awake, her compound eyes fixed on the holographic display in her room. She watched in fascination as humans around the world attempted to recreate her dance moves, their bodies contorting in ways that seemed physically impossible for their species. Jack, she trilled excitedly when he finally reached her. I believe I've initiated a global bonding ritual. Isn't this wonderful? Jack pinched the bridge of his nose, trying to stave off a migraine. Zara, this is serious. We need to do damage control before. He was cut off by a thunderous boom that shook the entire building. Outside, the sky had turned an ominous shade of purple, swirling with energy. Oh dear, Zara chittered, her antennae drooping. It appears the High Council has noticed our little adventure. A massive hologram materialized over the city, depicting a stern-looking alien with multiple eyes and shimmering tentacles. Its voice boomed across the skyline, making windows rattle. Xenanthropologist Zara Xlif, it intoned, "You've violated Galactic Protocol 7259B, excessive fraternization with primitive species. Cease all interactions with humans immediately and prepare for extraction." Panic gripped the city. Sirens wailed as people fled the streets, fearing an alien invasion. But Zara stood her ground, her exoskeleton shimmering with determination. "No," she said, her voice firm. "I will not leave. Humans are not primitive. They're complex, beautiful, and worthy of our respect. And I think I'm in love with one of them." A collective gasp echoed across the galaxy. Jack, who had just burst into Zara's room, froze in shock. "Zara," he whispered, "what are you doing?" She turned to him, her compound eyes sparkling with an emotion Jack had never seen in an alien before. "I'm doing what humans do best, Jack. I'm following my heart." With that, Zara activated her suit's anti-gravity field and soared out the window, straight towards the hologram of the High Council member. Jack, acting on pure instinct, grabbed onto her leg at the last second and found himself pulled along for the ride. As they ascended, Zara began to dance. But this wasn't the carefree movement from the nightclub. This was something else entirely. Her body undulated in impossible patterns, creating ripples in the very fabric of spacetime. "What's happening?" Jack yelled over the howling wind. "Quantum choreography," Zara shouted back. "It's how my species communicates across vast distances. I'm showing them everything I've learned about humanity." The sky erupted in a kaleidoscope of colors as Zara's dance reached its crescendo. Images flashed across the heavens, humans laughing, crying, fighting, making up, falling in love. The raw emotion of it all was overwhelming. Suddenly, a new voice boomed across the city. We had no idea," it said, tinged with awe. "Perhaps we were too hasty in our judgment." The purple swirls in the sky began to dissipate, replaced by a warm, golden glow. Zara and Jack floated gently back down to the street, where a crowd had gathered to watch the spectacle. As their feet touched the ground, Jack turned to Zara, his heart pounding. "Did you mean what you said up there? About being in love?" Zara's exoskeleton flushed a deep iridescent blue. I think I did. Is that okay?" Jack's response was to pull her close and kiss her deeply. The crowd erupted in cheers, smartphones capturing the moment for posterity. #AlienLoveStory began trending even before they broke apart. In the days that followed, Earth and the Galactic Confederation entered a new era of cooperation and understanding. Zara's dance became a symbol of unity, taught in schools across the galaxy as a reminder that love knows no boundaries, not even interstellar ones. And as for Zara and Jack, well, they had some things to figure out, like how to navigate a relationship when one partner has an exoskeleton, or what to do when your girlfriend can accidentally trigger quantum events with her dance moves. But as they stood hand in hand, or hand in claw, watching the sun set on a changed world, they knew one thing for certain: their love story was just beginning, and the universe would never be the same. The Xenolympics sensation. As Zara and Jack's interspecies romance captured hearts across the globe, an even more extraordinary event was taking shape. The United Nations, in collaboration with the Galactic Confederation, announced the first-ever Xenolympics, a competition where humans and aliens would showcase their unique abilities side by side. The announcement sent shockwaves through both Earth and the cosmos. #Xenolympicype exploded across social media platforms, with billions speculating about the mind-bending events that might be featured. Zara, now a celebrity in her own right, was appointed as the lead organizer for the alien contingent. Jack, leveraging his linguistic skills, became the chief translator and cultural liaison for the event. As the opening ceremony approached, New York City transformed into a dazzling intergalactic village. Hovercrafts zipped between skyscrapers adorned with holographic banners. Streets bustled with a colorful array of beings from across the universe, their diverse anatomies and vibrant energy turning the city into a living, breathing work of art. The night before the games, Zara and Jack stood atop the Empire State Building, overlooking the spectacle. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" Zara chittered, her iridescent exoskeleton reflecting the city lights. Two worlds coming together in harmony. Jack nodded, but his expression was troubled. "It is, but I'm worried, Zara. Some of these alien abilities, they're beyond anything humans can compete with. What if this just proves how outmatched we are?" Zara's antennae twitched thoughtfully. "Perhaps. But I've learned that humans have a unique ability, the power to surprise. I have a feeling these games will reveal strengths in your species that even you don't know about yet." As if on cue, a commotion erupted in the street below. A group of teenagers was attempting to teach a gelatinous, multi-eyed alien how to skateboard. Despite its lack of limbs, the alien was somehow managing to balance on the board, much to the delight of the cheering crowd. Jack couldn't help but laugh. "I guess you're right. If nothing else, these games will be unforgettable." The next morning, billions of viewers across the galaxy tuned in as the Xenolympics kicked off with a bang, literally. The opening ceremony featured a synchronized anti-gravity display that culminated in a harmless but spectacular collision of matter and antimatter high above the city. As the games progressed, it became clear that this was unlike any sporting event in history. Traditional Olympic sports were given extraterrestrial twists. The 100-meter dash became the hypersprint, with contestants racing through localized wormholes. Swimming events took place in zero-gravity spheres of water, with athletes from aquatic planets showing off their otherworldly grace. gymnastics transformed into quantum tumbling, where competitors manipulated the very fabric of space-time to perform impossible feats. But it was the new events that truly captured the public's imagination. Telepathic chess, a mind-bending competition where players battled across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Photon lasso. Contestants used beams of light to wrangle miniature black holes, showcasing precision and control over fundamental forces. Xenobastronomy challenge. Chefs from across the cosmos competed to create dishes palatable to all known life forms, pushing the boundaries of molecular gastronomy to their limit. As Zara had predicted, humans found ways to surprise everyone. In the adaptive evolution sprint, where contestants had to navigate rapidly changing environments, a human parkour expert took gold, her quick thinking and adaptability outpacing even shape-shifting aliens. The empathy endurance event, which tested contestants' ability to understand and connect with vastly different life forms, saw humans consistently outperforming other species. Their capacity for emotional intelligence and cross-cultural understanding proved to be an unexpected galactic superpower. But it was the final event that would go down in history as the defining moment of the first Xenolympics. The Cosmic Harmony competition required teams of mixed species to create a collaborative performance that embodied the spirit of universal unity. As the last team took the stage, an audible gasp rippled through the stadium. Zara stood at the center, her exoskeleton gleaming under the spotlights. Surrounding her were beings from a dozen different worlds, including Jack. As the music began, a haunting melody that seemed to resonate with the very strings of the universe, they started to move. What followed was beyond dance, beyond physics, beyond imagination. Zara's quantum choreography merged with human fluidity, alien bioluminescence pulsed in rhythm with Earth's heartbeat, and voices from across the cosmos harmonized in a song of unity. As the performance reached its climax, something extraordinary happened. The boundaries between performers began to blur, their energies merging into a swirling vortex of light and emotion. For a brief, breathtaking moment, every being in the stadium, and every viewer across the galaxy, felt connected, as if they were one single magnificent entity experiencing the wonder of existence through countless eyes. When it ended, there wasn't a dry eye or optical sensor in the house. The applause was thunderous, transcending language and species barriers. #Cosmic Harmony began trending across every known communication network in the universe. In the aftermath of the Games, as athletes and spectators from 1,000 worlds prepared to return home, the impact of the Xenolympics was clear. Barriers had been broken, understanding had been fostered, and the seeds of a true galactic community had been planted. Zara and Jack, exhausted but exhilarated, found a quiet moment amidst the chaos of the closing ceremony. "We did it," Jack said, squeezing Zara's claw gently. "We showed the universe that we're all more alike than different." Zara's compound eyes sparkled with emotion. "Indeed, but this is just the beginning, my love. The real challenge lies ahead, building a future where all beings, no matter their origin, can live in harmony." As they shared a tender embrace, still an awkward but endearing process given their physiological differences, neither of them noticed the small, glowing seed that had fallen from Zara's exoskeleton. It nestled into a crack in the pavement, pulsing with an otherworldly energy. The Xenolympics had ended, but a new chapter in the story of the cosmos was just beginning to unfold. And at its heart were two unlikely lovers, a human and an alien, whose bond would shape the destiny of galaxies. The quantum quandary. In the months following the Xenolympics, Earth had become a hub of interstellar activity. Alien tourism boomed, and human extraterrestrial relationships flourished. Zara and Jack's love story had inspired millions across the cosmos, sparking a new era of interspecies understanding. But beneath the surface of this newfound harmony, an unprecedented crisis was brewing. It began with subtle anomalies, objects flickering in and out of existence, time flowing at different rates in neighboring city blocks, and people reporting vivid shared dreams of alternate realities. At first, these incidents were dismissed as side effects of increased alien presence on Earth. Then came the day when New York City simply shifted. In the blink of an eye, the bustling metropolis transformed. Skyscrapers twisted into impossible shapes, defying the laws of physics. Central Park became a dense jungle teeming with extinct and alien species. The East River turned into a flowing stream of liquid light. #Quantum Apocalypse started trending worldwide as similar phenomena began occurring globally. Panic spread as reality itself seemed to be unraveling. Amidst the chaos, Zara made a startling discovery. The quantum fluctuations were emanating from a single point, the exact spot where she and Jack had embraced after the Zen Olympics. "It's us," she chittered, her exoskeleton paling with shock. "Our love, it's destabilizing the fabric of space-time." Scientists from across the galaxy convened in an emergency summit. Their conclusion was grim. The unique quantum resonance created by Zara and Jack's interspecies bond was causing a cascade effect, merging multiple realities and threatening the very stability of the universe. The solution seemed heartbreakingly simple. Zara and Jack had to separate permanently. As news of their impending farewell spread, #Star-Crossed Lovers became the most used hashtag in human history. Millions tuned in to watch their final moments together, broadcast love across every platform in the known universe. But as Zara and Jack stood before the swirling vortex that would take Zara back to her homeworld, something unexpected happened. The small glowing seed that had fallen from Zara's exoskeleton months ago suddenly burst into bloom, growing into a shimmering, otherworldly plant unlike anything Earth had ever seen. Its petals unfurled, revealing a miniature galaxy swirling at its center. As it pulsed with energy, the quantum anomaly stabilized. Reality snapped back into place, but with a twist. The boundaries between dimensions had become permeable. Dr. Aisha Khan, Earth's leading quantum physicist, gasped as she analyzed the readings. It's creating a bridge between realities. This plant, it's channeling the energy of your bond, stabilizing the quantum fluctuations." The implications were staggering. Not only could Zara and Jack stay together, but their love had unlocked the key to safe interdimensional travel. In the weeks that followed, a new field of study emerged: quantum botany. The love lotus, as it came to be known, became the foundation for a revolution in physics, biology, and interstellar relations. Zara and Jack, now hailed as the saviors of the multiverse, took on the role of interdimensional ambassadors. They traveled across realities, spreading understanding and cultivating gardens of love lotuses to maintain the delicate balance between worlds. Their adventures became the stuff of legend, sparking a new genre of entertainment: quantum reality shows. Viewers could tune in to watch Zara and Jack's exploits across infinite realities, never knowing what bizarre and beautiful worlds they might encounter next. #Quantum couple goals trended across dimensions as beings of all species and realities found inspiration in their story. Interspecies dating apps exploded in popularity, each promising to help users find their own reality-bending romance. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. The couple faced challenges that tested the very limits of their love. In one reality, they had to navigate a world where time flowed backwards, forcing them to fall in love all over again with each passing day. Another dimension cast Jack as a sentient AI and Zara as a human, flipping their dynamic in unexpected ways. They even encountered alternate versions of themselves, leading to philosophical debates about the nature of identity and love across the multiverse. Through it all, their bond only grew stronger. They learned to communicate in ways that transcended physical form, their love becoming a force that could literally shape reality. As their 5th anniversary approached, simultaneously celebrated across countless dimensions, Zara and Jack prepared for their most daring adventure yet. They planned to journey to the very edge of existence, to seed a new universe born from the pure energy of their love. The event was to be broadcast live, with trillions of beings across the multiverse tuning in. Quantum physicists prepared to document the birth of a new reality, while poets stood ready to capture the romance of the millennium. As Zara and Jack stood hand in hand, or hand in claw, at the threshold of creation, they shared a look that spoke volumes across any spectrum. Their journey had been unimaginable, filled with wonders and challenges beyond comprehension. But through it all, one thing remained constant: their love for each other. "Ready for one more adventure, my quantum queen?" Jack asked, his voice trembling with excitement and emotion. Zara's antennae quivered affectionately. "Always, my interdimensional Romeo." With a flash of light and a surge of pure love, they stepped into the unknown, ready to write the next chapter of their cosmic love story. As they vanished from view, the multiverse held its breath, waiting to see what marvels their love would create next. And so, the tale of Zara and Jack, the alien and the human who loved so deeply they reshaped reality, became etched into the very fabric of existence, a testament to the power of love to transcend all boundaries, even those of space, time, and dimension. #LoveBeyondReality began trending across infinite realities, a reminder that in a universe of endless possibilities, love remains the most powerful force of all.